Okay, welcome back. We are doing 9.2, which is absolute value equations. Next week we will dive into absolute value inequalities. So, the absolute value means these are the symbols for absolute value. Whatever is in there is positive. So, if I say the absolute value of 5 is equal to 5, the absolute value of negative 5 is equal to 5. So if I were to say the absolute value of x equals 5, we know that in there can be positive 5 or negative 5. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to make sure that the absolute value is the only thing on the left-hand side of the equation.
Okay.
So when you do have the absolute value as the anything on is the only thing on the left-hand side, you break it up. So x minus 2 is equal to 8, and x minus 2 is equal to negative 8. Notice how inside nothing changed, okay? But you set it to positive and you set it to negative. Now you solve it. So I am going to add 2 to each side. X equals, what is 8 plus 2, Colin?
10.
Very good. Now here, I'm going to add 2 to each side. Negative 8 plus 2 is what?
10.
No. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Okay? So X equals 10 and negative 6. You have to have both. Okay, now look down here. Notice how I said when you split it up, the only thing that was on the left-hand side was the absolute value. Now we have this 6. So we subtract 6 from each side. So I'm going to get the absolute value of x is equal to 15 minus 6. What's 15 minus 6, Declan?
9.
Very good. Now, the absolute value is the only thing on that side. So now we split it up. So x equals 9 and x equals negative 9. Why did I invite them to be my students? Okay. Would you guys like to stay after school?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm going to keep going because I'm not restarting this. So, here,
I'm so
I
sorry.
take this whole thing. It's the absolute value.
Sorry.
Lord, help me. Okay. The absolute value is the only thing on this side.
I'm so sorry.
So I can break it up into 10x plus 30 divided by 3 is equal to 10. And 10x plus 30 all over 3 is equal to negative 10. Okay? So I got to multiply each side by 3. So I'm going to get, and I'm running out of room. I'm going to have to erase this one.
And she's going to have to write on the wall.
Okay, so I multiply each side by 3, so I get 10x plus 30 is equal to 30. Subtract 30 from each side, and I get 10x is equal to 0. Then I divide each side by 10, because I still have to find x, and I get x is equal to 0.
Whoa.
Now, I have to do this one. So I'm going to multiply each side by 10 again, by 3. And I get negative 30. Okay. Now I'm going to subtract 30 from each side. So basically you're doing the same equation twice. One is when it equals positive, one equals negative. So I have 10x is equal to negative 60. Divide each side by 10. X equals negative 6. So you have to have both answers. Now remember, the absolute value is always equal to a positive number. Okay? So over here, I don't have the absolute value by itself. So I have to first subtract 5 before I can split it up.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so right now we have the absolute value is equal to a negative number. Can we have an absolute value equal to a negative number?
No.
No. So this one is no solution. You can't do it.
Dang it.
Okay? And that is all.
Wait, you missed a problem.